Okay, ma'am.
All right, class, greetings of the day. Let's begin with today's topic. But before going to the topic, as usual we do, let's recapitulate what we have done in our previous class. So we have just started our chapter first revision, that is the matter around us. Okay, the chapter tells us that everything is made up of matter. If I'm talking to you through this Bluetooth, through this camera phone, and you're sitting over your bedroom or whatever in your study room, each thing, whatever you see in your life, in your daily practical life, everything is made up of matter. Everything is something which is made up of particles. All right. So in yesterday's class, we have just seen that how the matter are made up of. They are made up of particles, and we have also observed the characteristics of particles on the basis of their physical properties. Like they have the space, they can attract each other, or they're the compressible, and many more things. Okay. So in today's class, we will start with a new topic, that is the states of matter. Okay, so let's begin with the topic states of the matter. Now, different parts that can be described, that can be evaluated on the matter is something types of matter on the basis of property. All right, so let's begin. See class, as we have seen in our yesterday's class, that physical properties, that means we can observe them by just looking over it. Means we do not have to heat them, we do not have to boil them, we do not have to do some chemical reaction in our chemistry lab. Okay, we can just observe them by looking at it, by observing it, by seeing through it. Okay, so these are known to be matters on the on the basis of physical properties. So the states of matter on the basis of their physical properties are basically three types, that is solid state, liquid state, and the gas. One state, explain it briefly, and then we will go to the most important point. We do need to compare all the three states. That is what are the topic of comparison, what are the areas of comparison in which we can compare them, which one is the better. All right, so let's start with the first topic, the solid state. Well, solid is something which is mostly seen in our daily life, in our practical way. Most of the thing that we use is solid in nature. Okay, so whenever we check out, solids have some definite properties. The definition of matter was conveying to us that matter is something which occupies space and which has volume. Okay, so matter is something which occupies space as well as volume. Then solid wants to say us that yes, I'm a matter, but I have a definite shape, sorry, definite mass and definite volume too. That means their mass is constant, their volume is constant, they can cover the exact area that they have. All right. Since they have the definite mass as well as the definite volume, I would like to convey that they also have the definite shape too. The definite shape. Definite mass is over there, definite volume, definite shape, and most importantly, the compressibility says to us that they are very rigid, not compressible at all. What is compressibility? Compressibility means if we want to convert it into another shape by applying rigid in shape. Rigid means I would like to say it's kind of fixed. Okay, it doesn't have characteristics that it would like to applying any force, applying any area, applying any pressure, and it would change its state. Like if I'm talking about this marker and I'm trying my best, but no, it's not happening because it has something which is known to be the rigid shape. That means not compressibility at all. Okay, don't change any shape, no any nothing in the particular area of volume. Okay, so these were the 3 points. Same as it is, the most importantly is intermolecular space. In the very last class, what we have done, that all the particles of a matter has space between them. We have studied that whenever we are checking out the particles, they have the space between them. And we have studied that only due to this space any kind of matter can be dissolved into another kind of matter. For example, my sodium chloride salt, that means my common salt, has space between them. So everything, every property of matter, every kind of matter has the space between them. All right. But then now the point is, whenever we are talking about the intermolecular space in solid, it is almost negligible. It's almost negligible. Okay. They cannot change their shape. They cannot change themselves to another shape or another volume. So we have observed 4 to 5 properties, but another property is the force of attraction. Please check out what we have studied in our previous class. We have said that they have space as well as they can attract each other. Only due to this reason, we have told that that since they can attract each other, only this basis they can behave like a solid or liquid or gas. So if I'm talking about my solid state, we know very well that solid is something which has very close intermolecular force of attraction. That means their particles of solid, they are closely packed to each other. उनके बीच का जो force of attraction है वो इतना super strong है that it's not able to them that we're trying to compress them or we're trying to change the shape. Okay, so due to intermolecular force of attraction, due to closely packing of the particles of the solid state, they have the definite shape as well as the definite volume. Okay, hopefully I'm clear with this point. Now the point is, we have seen so many properties, but there are some solid which show a little bit different property. So are they solid or not? Let's take an idea. Let's have an idea. The first question is rubber band. You know very well the rubber band girls use in your daily life. Whenever we stretch a rubber band, it just changes its shape. But after some time, when I release it, it would gain its shape again. I'm again repeating. If I'm talking about my rubber band, suppose it's in round shape. Whenever I'm stretching it, it's converting into an oval shape. After that, again, it would get its original shape. So now the point is, we have told that solid is something which do not change its shape. So is it a solid or not? Definitely yes, it's a solid, because whenever we lose the pressure, whenever we change the force of attraction, it would again get its original shape. Okay, so rubber is also a solid because it has still a great intermolecular force of attraction. And if we try to increase more and more pressure, more and more force, what would happen? After some time, it would get break. Why? Because the force of attraction is so strong that they cannot lose the particle of each other. अगर उनके बीच में force of attraction इतना strong है, वो एक दूसरे को remove करना पसंद नहीं करेंगे, and whenever we stretch them, they would just break down. Okay, so this was all about this rubber band. Same as it is if I'm talking about sodium chloride. You have seen the particles of salt. They are super small in size, and whenever I just put them into a jar or into a box, they would get the shape. So why is it happening whenever I'm trying to put a salt or a sugar into a beaker or into any kind of jar, they gain the particular jar? Why is it so? Just have a little focus on this topic. Now, according to me, the shape, whenever we just put them in any kind of jar or beaker, they would get the shape of that particular thing, but the shape of a particle would always be fixed. So if I'm talking about sodium chloride, suppose this is sodium chloride salt particle, and whenever I'm putting so many into the beaker, Their size is small, so they would be millions of particles which can be arranged in a jar. Okay, that we have studied, that the particle size is super small. But the point here is, if I'm talking about sodium chloride salt and I want to pick up just one and check out the shape, it still has the fixed shape. It still has the fixed shape. So in this way, we would say that all these things are solid, but the point is the force of attraction might be little bit kept changed. Okay. So this was all about the solid state. We have just studied that it is known to be rigid. It has definite mass, definite volume, definite shape. Moreover, the force of attraction is quite strong. Okay. So this was all about solid state. Let's go to our next state, that is known to be liquid state. Now we will check out how is it different from the solid state. Let's have a look. Okay. Now the point is, if I'm talking about the liquid state, you have seen the water, the honey, milk, whenever suppose I'm taking a glass of water, it has gained the shape of water, and when just I spill it, it moves very frequently as compared to the solid. अगर मेरे पास एक कटोरी में शुगर है और एक ग्लास वाटर है, and I spill the both, the salt or the sugar container, whenever I spill it, there would be no such movement. But if I'm talking about a glass of water and I spill it, it would move freely as compared to the salt. Okay. So this particular reason let me know that liquid is something which do not have the definite shape, which do not have the definite shape. Another point is, they do have the definite mass, but no definite volume. Am I clear or not? I'm saying they have the definite mass, but no definite volume. Okay. Now the point here is, they do have the definite mass. Due to this reason, they have the definite. They do not have the definite shape. Sorry. Definitely yes, but most importantly, the point here is the force of attraction. This is the particular reason why we can change or why we can compare all these three states, either I'm talking about the solid, the liquid, or the gas. Okay, so they do not have the definite volume. The reason behind that is not great force of attraction as compared to solid. One more thing I would like to say, they have space, larger space between the particles. So in yesterday class, I told you something about diffusion. I hope you have remembered the term diffusion. Now, what do you mean by diffusion? Why do we need to study that particular topic? Diffusion is a state, or we can say it is a process by the which a matter is getting dissolved into another matter. Or I would say it is kind of intermixing of particles. Okay. As compared to solid, the liquid has a greater sense of diffusion. They have a greater property of diffusion as compared to the solid. And what is the reason behind them? The two reasons. The first one, we are seeing that the attraction is not so much good as compared to the solid. The force of attraction is little bit weak. And why is it so? Because there is much space between the particles. Okay. One more point, as we have told in solid that they are rigid, they are not compressible. But if I'm talking about the water or the liquid, any kind of, they have the compressibility rate faster as compared to the solid. That means if we apply any kind of force, any kind of pressure on it, it can change its shape quickly as compared to the solid. Okay. Now we have studied the solid, the liquid. One more thing, Whenever I'm taking the point of diffusion, here I would like to add one more point. That is, the question is very general, and hopefully you know that also. The question is, how do aquatic animals live, or we can say breathe, underwater? Okay, the question we are having, we know very well, if I'm talking about the sea, the ocean, or the river, there are so many aquatic species that are living under the water level. Supposing talking about some aquatic plants like as algae, or some aquatic animals like fish, snake, or and many more we have. Now the point here is, how can they survive living under the water? Because we know very well that all kind of animals or even plants, they need a particular gas to survive. If I'm talking about the animals, they need oxygen gas. If I'm talking about the plants, they need carbon dioxide to live under the water, not only under the water, on the land too. So how they're able to do so? The answer is due to diffusion. We have told you that liquid has the much space between their particles. So due to diffusion, the particle of gases would get dissolved into the water. I would repeat it again. Due to diffusion, the particles of gases like oxygen would dissolve into water. Due to this, they would be able to survive under it. Am I clear? I'm again repeating, due to the diffusion. Diffusion means the larger space, sorry, diffusion means the mixing. Due to larger space between the particles, gas would intermix into them, or we can say diffusion is taking place. All right. So due to large space, due to large, I would like to say area between the particles of liquid, gases would easily combine, gases would come in the better quantity as compared to solid, and the aquatic animals and the plants would live. They would be able to survive. Okay, so these were the point I was talking about. The liquid state, they have the definite mass, but not definite volume, do not have the definite shape, and they are little bit compressible. Okay, as compared to the solid, solid are known to be totally rigid. Clear? Now, one more thing, they have the lesser intermolecular force of attraction and the greater spaces between them. Okay. Now we have done all the two, the solid as well as the liquid. The last state, we have only the gaseous state. Okay. So let's move with the last state, that is the gaseous state. Okay. For talking about the gas, you have studied about two important gases, that is LPG and CNG. Suna hoga hopefully the term LPG and CNG. Okay. That would come in your exam just as for 1 marks, even in the MCQs. So the full form, or or I would like to say the uses of LPG and CNG is quite important for the exam point of view. Okay, so just do remember, the LPG is liquid petroleum gas. Whereas the CNG is compressed natural gas. Okay, now I'm talking about LPG. We know very well that LPG is something which is used in the cylinders. In the home kitchen, whenever we need to cook our food, we just turn off the knob and a gas come out. This particular gas is known to be LPG. Now I'm saying that In a short cylinder, compressibility, I was saying that whenever we fill the gas into small area, it is due to the compressibility. And we have also studied that compressibility is something which is due to less force of attraction. Or we can say more space. Am I clear? So the two reasons behind the compressibility of gases is, first one, there is the less force of attraction between the particles of gas. And the second point is there is more space between the gaseous molecule as compared to liquid and solid. Okay. One more point, but here I would like to add that if I have just done about LPG and CNG, they have told us that there is much compressibility. A 2 marks question could come in your exam that is very important. The question is, why do gases have higher compressibility than solid? I hope you have got the point of compressibility, that what is the meaning of compressibility. Okay, so the point here is, why do gases have higher compressibility than liquids? This is the question. Why do gases have higher compressibility than liquids? And the answer is, we have just studied that compressibility is something which is dependent upon the force of attraction, or we can say which is dependent upon the space between the gaseous molecules. We know very well that the space is very less, it can move freely. Okay, if I'm talking about, I have just taken the example of a cylinder. If I just free them, if I just lose them, they would cover up a whole room, a whole big area. Okay, because there is negligible force of attraction between them. They could easily freely move from one space to another space. Okay, so there are two particular points. First one is the compressibility, they are super compressible, and second one is diffusion. Diffusion rate of gaseous is super higher as compared to solid and liquid. Okay, I'm just going to the topic. Due to compressibility, due to intermolecular force of attraction, the diffusion rate is higher. So I would like to say diffusion of gas is higher than diffusion of liquid and then solid. Okay, one more point, that is the main comparison between the all the three. The gas do not have definite shape, no definite mass, no definite volume. Okay, and I have told about compressibility. Is there anything left? Yes, about liquid, I forgot to tell that liquids are also known as fluids. The fluid means they can easily flow. The gaseous are also called fluid, but nowadays in chemistry language, liquids are known to be fluids comparatively to gases. The definition has been a little bit changed. Okay, so this was what I wanted to say. The last point for this topic is the pressure. This is the last point for gaseous, and then we would cover up the class by taking your doubts. Okay, see, what about the gases? They have another remarkable property. And that property is, if I'm taking that into a beaker, if I'm placing them into a beaker, they create a kind of pressure on that beaker. I'm again repeating, if I'm holding my gas into a beaker, that gas especially try to pertain a particular pressure on that beaker. And this is the reason that gases can easily move as there is no force of attraction, or I would like to say negligible force of attraction. So they would keep colliding to the particles of each other, as well as walls of container. Okay, so I'm saying that they're colliding to each other, they're beating each other, as well as they're colliding to the walls of container too. Due to this reason, we would say that gases also apply some pressure on the container. Okay, so this is the point I would like to, I needed to tell you about the gases. Now we will just compile up the class by saying that all the solid, liquid, and gas, they're the three different states of matter, and the difference between them is due to one particular thing, that is intermolecular force of attraction. Okay, the intermolecular force of attraction in solid is very high, they are closely packed, they are rigid. But if I'm talking about liquid and gas, this particular force of attraction kept on decreasing. Especially in gases, this is almost negligible. So they can kept freely, they can move easily freely to each other. Okay, and this particular force of attraction can be decreased by increasing the temperature. In the last class, I have told you about the kinetic energy, that whenever we need to increase the temperature, the kinetic energy increases. So if they're attached with each other, I'm increasing the kinetic energy, I'm increasing the temperature, they would just leave each other. Okay, suppose this is the strong force of attraction. I have increased the temperature. Due to increase in temperature, they have start moving faster and they would just leave each other.
Ma'am, you
Okay,
have only 7 minutes
this
left.
was all. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, I would. So this was all I wanted to say you.